Hi there, and welcome back to Stubbs Aquatics. On this episode, I'm going to be doing a preventative potassium permanganate treatment. I do this twice annually, both in the fall and the spring. And I'll go over why I do it and the importance of it. I believe it to be safe. I certainly trust it. But before we begin this topic, I want to talk about something very important to me, and that's subject on mental health. It's now the fall. It's about October the 11th, and I want to come out and tell you that I've been suffering with seasonal depression. I'm not telling you this to get your sympathy. I'm just telling you this to be open and honest about how I am. It's been a really rough go this fall for me. I can't tell you why. I don't have a reason other than it's seasonal depression, and unfortunately I can't take any medication because of the thoughts that come across being suicidal. I'm fine. I just want to let other people know out there that you're not suffering alone. And even if you don't want to talk about it, just hearing that someone else is going through this sometimes helps. Anyways, let's go back to the main topic at hand, and that's a preventative treatment for potential parasites, especially in the fall. Remember, koi, especially in northern climates, go into a hibernation phase, and their bodies basically shut down and can't fight off all the nasties that might be lingering in your pond, like trick, costia, flukes. So, I believe that preventative medicine will help them get through that long winter phase that they're going to go through. They're going to go through, 6 months without food and basically temperatures that they just can't fight it off because their immune system's shut down. So I'm going to take you through the process of what I use for potassium permanganate, how I use it, why I've used it. I've basically already told you, and how I buy it. Now, I'm all about saving money. This is, that's all potassium permanganate. If you went to buy that through your fish dealer, you'd be paying a mint. I buy this through a water treatment facility. This is used for treating water for humans. So I'm pretty sure it's going to be safe for fish. In fact, I know it's safe for fish. But I always do a good measurement of your pond. And in my case, it's really hard to get a close measurement, so I go by the way it looks and the way the fish are acting. Also, make sure you always keep hydrogen peroxide on hand to neutralize it. Neutralize it immediately. Take you through the process, and make sure you hook up extra oxygen as they're really going to need it, because it deprives everything of oxygen, and that's one of the way it works. As you can see, I've got extra oxygen going. I'm going to leave the filters on just for a couple minutes, just to make sure the water movement is going properly and it's going from pond to pond. And you can see I've got another pump going on the other side. Again, it's very important to keep really good oxygen concentration going. And Marley, if you're going to get a drink, you better do it now. Only this dog. I want to really thank my family for helping me through these dark times, especially with depression. I can always count on them and the friends I have, both here on YouTube and friends I have locally. They can always reach out to. Well, let's get going with the PP treatment. So Marley, no more water for you from the pond the rest of the day. Yeah, I know, one more drink, right? Unbelievable. No wonder I always have to top up the pond, because you're drinking it all. Just to clarify, this is my watering can. I did not steal it from my wife. This is what I use to make sure the potassium permanganate gets spread around. I can mix it in the can. And at the very beginning, I do have the filters going. It's okay that I may kill the bacteria. By now, anything in the filters really isn't doing much because of the temperatures. Potassium permanganate. I'm not going to bore you with the details of the chemical breakdown because, face it, other than a few of us, which does not include me, are not chemists. And there's various responses out there where people are strongly against it and believe it to be very dangerous, being that they believe it burns the gills and not recommended. Where others, like myself, believe it to be extremely effective. I think it's a great preventative medicine along with a good treatment medicine. It's perfect for flukes, trichodemia, costia. There's just so many it can look after, including bacterial issues. It can help with fungus, algae actually, and to get rid of your snails. It's not toxic to plants, and in fact it's great disinfectant for plants, for both roots and the leaves. It's also a good dip for freshly acquired fish. I've used this for a number of years in both pond and aquarium and have had great results. Yes, you have to stand by and you have to watch it. It's not something you just treat and walk away. It is a all-day thing, but it's effective. It really helps with gills, ulcers, and all other areas where bacteria and parasites can infect the fish. Now, as the color turns from a bright or very dark purple to a pink to finally a brown, it will actually improve your water quality the following day, and it'll be so much cleaner, as it does help with organic matter. And it'll depend on how much organic matter is in your pond on how fast it will break down, or if there's any other agents in your water like chlorine, it'll break down that much quicker. As you've seen, I did have my filters running for a little bit. That's just because I wanted the water flow and to move it around, because the fish will obviously swim away from it. And as I stated before, I always keep hydrogen peroxide on hand. I would recommend, if you're not used to using it, using gloves. If not, you will have a brown stain on your hands or where else you may have dripped it on yourself, and it's not going to go away for days. The dosage recommended is 2 to 4 grams per 1,000 liters. So do a good measurement of your pond. For those who are lucky to have a square pond, your measurements are relatively easy. Odd-shaped ponds like mine with different widths and depths is a little harder, and it just takes you some time getting used to. I go by basically the color of the water, along with the measurements that I've used over the years. Remember to always keep an eye on your fish, and if you see them struggling, as in gulping oxygen or gulping air,
because they're low on oxygen, then you've gone too high, and you're going to need to neutralize the potassium permanganate with peroxide. I generally check every 20 minutes for the first hour, and then after that every 30 minutes until I notice the color has changed. And you can see by the video that it's now starting to change, and the fish are still acting proper. You'll note the fish do hide at the bottom, and that is natural, so don't panic. They are going to go down to the bottom, and again, it's perfectly natural. It's when they're all hanging near the top that's when you should be concerned about overdosing your fish. Like I said before, I use this on not only pond fish, but tropicals. When I got some Aurelius barbs several months ago, I noted one had mouth rot, or what appeared to be mouth rot, which I immediately, of course, panicked and treated the entire tank. I did 2 doses of that within a 5-day period. It did not spread. That fish healed perfectly, and I've had no other issues with the fish or the tank. So I would highly recommend using it. But again, I'm not an expert, but I have been keeping fish for over 50 years. As you can see, the water is now turned from a deep dark purple to a very faint pink that's got a brownish tinge to it. It'll continue to get a further brown color. It's now much safer. The fish are becoming much more active, and probably within the next 15 to 20 minutes, I'll turn the filters back on. I'll keep the extra oxygen going though. And like I said, the fish are becoming much more active, and it's been at least 3.5 to 4 hours now. Well, thanks everyone for watching. It was a beautiful fall day. I'm glad I got outside to enjoy it. Probably one of the last beautiful sunny days. I hope this was helpful with respect to the use of potassium permanganate, and also helpful for those who are suffering with mental health. Remember, there's other people out there that are suffering alongside you, and there's lots of people that are more than happy and willing to help you out. Take care, everyone. See you in the next video.